Paolo Maldini is denied that AC Milan are facing a crisis, despite a home defeat to Empoli at the weekend. The Rossoneri have yet to win at home in Serie A this season, and are now 10 points behind leaders Inter. However, the captain is remaining calm, and despite admitting that the team was hurting to have fallen so far behind the leading pack, there was no sense that things were falling apart. The 39-year-old made his return after a 5-month layoff due to a knee injury, but despite playing for an hour before being replaced by Kaka Kaladze, could do little to influence the result. The former Italy international claimed that the European champions would soon be back to their best, with the return of Ronaldo to take some of the pressure off the overworked front two of Alberto Gilardino and Filippo Inzaghi. Adriano has apologised to coach Roberto Mancini for his angry reaction to being substituted in Inter's win at Regina at the weekend. The Brazilian had scored the only goal of the game, his first in 6 months, but when he walked off the field he ignored Mancini's outstretched hand and went straight to the bench. However, the repentant striker admitted that he had to accept the coach's decisions, but like any player, he didn't like being subbed off. The 25-year-old had been frozen out of the squad lately and left off the Champions League list after he reportedly went off the rails in his private life. But the Rio-born player maintained that those bad old days were well behind him, and that the weekend's goal was just the beginning of a return to form, which would see him win his place back in the first team. Francesco Totti is among 8 Italian players in the 50 candidates for the Ballon d'Or. The AS Roma star had been left off the list of nominations for the FIFA World Player of the Year, but is in the running for the prestigious European Footballer of the Year, as announced by France Football magazine. Other Italians based in Serie A in the running are Juventus goalkeeper Gianluigi Buffon, who finished second last term, the AC Milan quartet of Gennaro Gattuso, Filippo Inzaghi, Paolo Maldini and Andrea Pirlo. However, the hot favourite remains Ricky Kaká, who was instrumental in helping the Rossoneri win the Champions League title with his 10 goals in the competition. Kaká's teammate Clarence Seedorf is also on the list, as is Inter striker Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Napoli coach Eddie Rea has urged his star striker Ezequiel Lavezzi to go on a diet. The little Argentine was the star of the show in the newly promoted side's 4-4 draw at AS Roma, where he scored the opening goal. However, his boss claimed the 22-year-old would be an even better player if he were to drop a couple of kilos. The 62-year-old believes that although the former San Lorenzo frontman has the pace to get past opponents with ease, his physique is a little too robust, which forces him to take breaks during a game. The draw at the Olympic Stadium gave the Neapolitans their first point against a title contender after losing to Inter on game day 7, and now Rea expects his team to push further up the table.